So today, one, anger itself is truth. So here, when Shantideva talking about when somebody make you angry, so it depends on the causes and conditions. And so when we talk about causes and conditions, so there are two levels of causes and condition: temporary causes and condition, and the primary causes and condition. So if somebody make you angry, and if you only looking from the temporary causes and condition, so this is something people who make you angry, and then you are not looking at the deeper level of the causes and condition. So if you look from the deeper level of causes and condition, then even when somebody make you angry, we will be able to, transform into the positive way, because you're not just looking from the temporary causes. Temporary causes and condition is somebody, who make you angry, so that person, he or she, that's the temporary cause and condition. But the primary causes and condition is the deeper level, So what we have to do is we have to analyze, because when we talk about the patient, we are not talking about we are withdrawing our mind from the difficulties, but we are talking about inner strength, We are talking about inner developing the mind. So that means we are looking 2 points, One, we are looking for the, we are looking our goal, and other, we are not losing our courages. So this is the actually meaning of the patient. Meaning of the patient is not something we are talking about drawing from this difficulty. It is actually talking about 2 points. 1 point, one, it means making your mind 2 points, One point of the mind is looking for your ultimate goal, and other part of the mind is not losing the courages. So that is the definition of the patient. So when here when Shantideva was talking about, so somebody make you angry, if we look from the deeper level, we will be able to solve the problem. If we only looking from the surface, then there's no way we can solve the problem. Surface is just that enemy, So people who make you trouble, so you consider he or she is my enemy, and then through that way, you will transform all your thought into the negative, and then you will retaliate and revenge. So this will not solve the problem. So if you're looking from the deeper level, we will be able to solve the problem, So that all mistakes that occur and all the various kind of wrongdoing arise through the force of conditions. They do not go on themselves. So we are talking about here, dependent arising, We are talking about dependent arising. Everything dependent arising depends on the cause and the effect. So no cause, no result, So everything, whatever we experience, feeling, recognition, were all produced by the variety levels of the causes and conditions. We can say like, when anger arises, so there's objective condition, objective condition, objective condition, and the subjective condition, which is your mind, subjective condition. So people who make you angry, right? We consider that is the object of my anger. So anger itself is subjective condition. And then with the combination of this objective condition and subjective condition, if we are not looking from the deeper level, there is kind of mistaken perceptions. I mean, and people who make you angry, because we call the exaggerating mind. So it appears to your mind, everything is 100% negative, and you will never see any good qualities during that period. When you are getting angry, people who make you angry, you will never see any good qualities during that period, because all your emotion completely transform into the negative mind. But it is not true, in illusion, In reality, nobody is 100% negative, Everybody is mixture, We have mixture, good and bad, It's not 100%. But during that period, because of mistaken perceptions, or we call exaggerating mind, will project and then emotionalize, and very difficult to control. So that's what I was saying, the various kind of wrongdoing, So when we talk about the various kind of wrongdoing, generally speaking, in the people in the samsara, we are experiencing so many different levels of wrongdoing. Here is a kind of like 5 point, Shantideva. We have kind of like mistaken, when somebody makes you angry, this kind of mistaken patience. And we have kind of like mistaken enjoyment, and mistaken compassion, and the mistaken aspirations, and the mistaken rejoicing. So what happens is, when somebody, make you angry or cause you problem, there's always mistaken patience. So what generally speaking, mistaken patience is something we put lots of effort to something not really meaningful, It's something like Shantideva give example of the, children, on the beach. They are building, sand castle, building children. And they think this is very, very important, they really love and on the beach, and building the sand castle. And somebody destroyed that castle, will upset the children, and crying, They believe, this is castle is something like you can stay in like your own house, But actually not like that. So similarly, so the mistaken passion is something, we can put lots of effort, which is something which is not, meaningful, So like, some people put lots of effort for the negative things. So this is mistaken, If you are doing good things, this is kind of like mistaken patience. So when it comes to Dharma, then we have to. So what we are doing, when we talk about Dharma, is kind of like it's kind of like medicine, It is medicine of the whole world, the whole people. If you take medicine, it will make you peace and joyful, So Dharma is kind of like Sanskrit word, means like medicine. It means transform your attitude and transform your mind. When we're talking about, we will transform our mind, because mind nature is believe. It is nature is clear. It is no polluted from the beginning to the end. It is completely pure from the beginning to the end. Mind nature is never ever polluted. So what happens is, so if mind nature is not polluted, then through training, through meditation, we will be able to see the mind. If nature is polluted, we cannot do anything, right? Like this is just like fire nature is heat, water nature is moisture, wind nature is blowing, and this is nature wind. We can't do anything. We cannot change the nature, You cannot change the nature of the water. You cannot change the nature of the fire. It's nature. So the mind nature, we will never change the nature of the mind, but we will change the mind, Because when we talk about changing the mind, we are talking about our daily emotions, feeling emotions. So if the emotions are negative, then we will change through training and meditation. So through training and meditation, we will change the mind. Changing the mind also depends on the patient, effort, and also other conditions. So, you need lots of different, different instrument, mindfulness. You need introspection. You need object of meditation. You need skillful mind. You need to open your mind. You need to make your mind like oceans and not block the mind. So there are many different causes and conditions to changing our mind or changing our attitude. So that means, so when we talk mistaken patient, now the mistaken enjoyment is something like there are two groups, And one group is, group of the people who study, practice meditation, discussing about something good, And other group is kind of like, group who are not interested about Dharma and who are talking about all the negative things. But your mind, where should go, If you go to the group who are talking about negative, there is mistaken enjoyment, So this will making your mind more confusions and polluted your mind. If you join with the Dharma groups, they are talking about good things, talking about meditation, talking about how to improve your mind. Then not that kind of enjoyment is not mistaken enjoyment, This good enjoyment is something like that, So often we are very familiar with the negative energy, So negative energy is it is no good. Even the healthy viewpoint, it will negative energy will eat in our immune systems. When the immune system is weak, we get sick. When our elements are imbalanced, fire, water, then we get sick. If the positive energy making our immune system, balanced and give you healthy body and healthy mind. With the combination of healthy body, healthy mind, you will enjoy your life. Even you live in a beautiful country, if the mind is tortured, I don't think you will enjoy this beautiful environment, because mind is torture, So it means, so here, mistaken aspiration, mistaken enjoyment, if we have no kind of wisdom, and difficult to distinguish between right, wrong, good, bad, If we have some kind of knowledge, teaching, it will open your mind. Where should I go, This way or that way. So this kind of mistaken enjoyment is you're enjoying with negative things. mistaken. Enjoying the Dharma teachings are not mistaken enjoyment. Mistaken compassion is kind of like, of course, compassion is the seat of the mind, right? Everybody has the seat of compassion, Everybody, no matter who you are, everyone has the seat of compassion. But when we talk about mistaken compassion, is something, people often make, like, if I say, something like that, like, for example, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, His Holiness gets sick, if I say I have compassion for His Holiness, then my compassion is mistaken compassion. Because when His Holiness gets sick, I said, I have compassion for His Holiness. But His Holiness no need compassion, because He's already enlightened beings. And because He take this human body, He will show us, or same like us. So if I said I have compassion for the Milarepa, I'm mistaken compassion. Because Milarepa have no food, outside looks like skeleton, blue color, only eating, nettle soup in Tibet, nettle, So I said, I have compassion for Milarepa, I have compassion for this enlightened beings, His Holiness, then my compassion is mistaken compassion. But when we see the usually people who are suffering, we will develop genuine compassion, isn't it? So mistaken compassion. And mistaken aspirations is kind of like, people who have no spiritual, just only this life, So only this life, then they can do any, because they have no future life, So they are only just for only this life, and only worldly, and nothing think about any spiritual, And then their aspiration is only this life, no in the future, So they can do anything, destroy the countries, whatever, they can do many bad things, because their mind is short-sighted, and just looking for only this life, the mistaken aspiration. So we are not on the mistaken aspiration. Our aspiration is to help other people, to liberate all sentient beings from the cycle of existence. And our aspiration is to do something, meaningful life, purpose life. Meaningful life means something doing good for others, Whatever you can do for others is the meaningful life. So mistaken and rejoicing, rejoicing is something always often, when somebody you see like this, we rejoice, lots of mistaken rejoicing, You see somebody doing negative, if you rejoice, then this is mistaken rejoicing, If somebody is doing good things, and we rejoice, it's not mistaken rejoicing. So these five wrongdoings are often involved with our mind. So it is very important, to analyze and to check. These conditions, that assemble together have no intention to produce anything, and neither does your product have the intention to the produce. So this is something they are talking about. People who harm you have no kind of like they are totally dominated by others. Their nature, they will not harm others. Their nature is wanting happiness and do not want any pain, suffering. It is nature of no matter who you are. But when something, negative mind arises or dominant the person, then he or she is controlled by others, like spirit controls the mind. of the other people, So no choice. So similarly, their nature, they have no intention. Nature is will never harm, but when these people are dominated by these afflictive emotions, they have become like blinded person, blinded person. Shantideva said, they are blinded by blinded person, blinded by ignorance. And if the blind person, who have good eyesight, will see clearly and will not go to the dangerous place, right? If the blind person who have no eyes is double problem. You know what I mean? He or she will go to the dangerous place because no eyes. So wisdom, open your eyes like wisdom, intelligent mind will open the mind, distinguish the mind, and it will making your mind shape, color, making your mind good quality. So therefore, this is talking about, anybody who harms you, they are just like controlled by the spirit, When somebody is controlled by his spirit, no choice, can harm others because person is totally different. That which is asserted primal substance and which is imputed as a self, since they are unproduced, do not arise after having purpose fully thought, I shall arise in order to cause harm. So this is one kind of Indian ancient Indian philosophy, like Sankhya school, So this brings in the idea of the Sankhya. It's a very ancient Hindi, school who believe to be self to be permanent existence. So this is this school bringing here and discussing with the Buddhists. So Sangha, they are very old, ancient Indian Hindi before the Buddhists. So this is very very old, ancient Hindi Samkhya. We call it Samkhya. So Samkhya we have 25 objects, something they can accept. So this is if they are unproduced and non-existent, then whatever wish they have to produce also not exist. Since this self will permanently apprehend its object, it follows that it would never cease to do so. Furthermore, if the self were permanent, it would clearly devoid of actions like space, and so even if it met with the other condition, how could its unchanging nature be effective? So this is the two Indian school, So the self is permanent. If self is permanent, then we will not change the self. So Shantideva viewpoint, self is not permanent. So we will talking about general self and the specific self. So your general self is the continuation, from this life to next life. It's continuation. Your specific self is temporary. So this life, your self is specific self. You have specific self and you have two types of self. So self is not permanent. From the Buddhist perspective, it depends on the base of designation. Base of designation is your body and mind, right? So your aggregates. We're talking about aggregates, 5 aggregates. your body feeling, aggregates of form, karmic formation, feeling, recognition, and aggregates of consciousness. So your base of designation is your aggregates. So aggregates, then somebody have to give you name, So you have this body, and then mom and dad will give you name. If there is no base, nothing, right? So everything depends on the base of designation and designated object. You are the designated object, person, he or she is the designated object. So your body aggregates are the base of designation. So somebody will give you name, This is he or she, John or whatever. So base of designation and designated object, and somebody will give you name, right? So therefore, Shantideva saying it is self is not permanent, right? It is continuation, and your self is changing. We can talk about when you are young, when you are baby, when you are youth, when you are old, all this self, right? Continuation, This is baby, adult, young, middle age, old. So, all depends on the base of designation, right? So your body became old, then old self, right? Yeah, this just like, youth. Body, youth. Small child, right? And, whatever, so it's, so general self and the specific self, right? So specific self, how much we change since we born till now, baby, youth, middle age, young, then go to the final, to the old age. So it is fluctuating. Your fluctuating depends on your body. So when we talk about getting old means deteriorating your body, right? So then self saying, I am old, I am young, I am youth, whatever, so I give you name, right? I am president, I am prime minister, I am the number one, I am the best, all this I self. With this, so this is what Shantideva was saying, the Buddhist perspective, self is specific self is fluctuating, the general self is continuation. So the point here is, as I mentioned it before, when we talk about the patient, right, we're not talking about withdrawing our mind from the difficulties. As I mentioned, it's just making your mind 2 points, right? One side, your goal, and other side is those losing courages, right? These two, right? Your goal, ambition there, achieve that goal very difficult, but you're not losing courages. This is just like courageous being, like we talk about Bodhisattvas. They are courageous beings because their goal is enlightenment. Final goal, enlightenment. So, in order to achieve enlightenment, very difficult process, but they are sacrificing and not losing the courageous. So when we gradually improve and strengthen your mind, right? When we are thinking like that, any difficulties, we should not lose the courageous, So this is we can make difficult into positive way, Difficult can make positive way, But this is unusual, We are not used to be doing like this. If we are used to doing like this, we can make difficult to the positive way of thinking, Difficult, it is difficult, but I can make this positive. Difficult, not difficult. Difficult is just thinking this thinking whatever problem arises, then difficult. But you're not thinking any problem, but making this difficult to something meaningful, So that's kind of like definition of the patience. Strengthen our mind, right? So Bodhisattva always do this, and always pray to remain the Dharma, until the end of the samsara, to spread the Dharma, to other people until the samsara. So I'm also going to make 2 points: Dharma, scripture, and realization. So the scripture is kind of like we are studying and all these texts. Meditation is scripture. Realization is you are experiencing this, whatever you study, right? So realization is more important than the scripture, right? So when we spread the Dharma, means we are talking about individual person, Individual person study and learn and share this to others. Spread the Dharma. Right? This is what we are talking about. Holding the Dharma, scripture and the realization. So you study and you share this to others. Is spread the Dharma, So when we talk about when they are praying, until samsara exists, they will spread the Dharma. This is the way of individual. You will spread Dharma to your friend, and your friend will share to other. This is people who are interested about Dharma, spreading the Dharma and holding the Dharma and experiencing the Dharma. So you are meditating and you experience your practice and meditation. Okay, thank you.